get your water, get your carbs. Phones off. How's everybody doing? Good. How soon? Are we there yet? 2 weeks. All right. Okay. You know what? If they can break down, I can take that snap. Here we go. All right. I've got it studied it just in case.
3 weeks. We got to get past month then.
Oh yeah, exactly. Not allowed. How can you? Why don't you plan this out better? How could a title person even think of having a baby at the end of the month? Come on. See a little better with that family planning stuff. It's good. You get going. So awesome. How's everybody doing? Great. You guys are all freezing down here, right? Yeah. Goodness. Actually, it was like 42 or something. You guys had a chance to break out the heavy coats, and we were just talking. I wasn't so bad. I did check this morning. Jeanette and the boys are waking up to 18 degrees. So there, but it's not all the way up north. All the way up north is. Ron, you're telling me your brother is what, negative 24?
Yeah, in Saratoga, New York, it was minus 24.
Minus 24, and it said at least plus 24 inches of snow. So that's kind of a bad combination as you go. So, well, good. Hey, we got a couple things we wanted to get knocked out real quickly here. Good to see everybody. Let's go through our preferred vendors that are here in the house real quick, and then we've got a sponsor for this meeting, and then we've got Manuela Woodrum. I know you guys all showed up to see Manuela. All right. She said she couldn't sleep last night just knowing that she's actually going to have to speak. All right, so that's all. And then we remind her that not only is the people in the room, but live video is going out to the World Wide Web. People in Bangladesh are watching this right now as we speak. Right up your alley. Say hi to your friends back in Munich and in Berlin. Where part of Germany you're from? Frankfurt. Okay, from Frankfurt. All right. You can say "Sprechen Sie Hallo" or all that stuff, and we're good. Awesome. Jerry, how are you, man? Catch a mid-bite? All right, I'd love to do that. That's why I shorten you up. You only get 30 seconds, so one way to do it is make sure you catch them with food in their mouth.
I think everyone in this room knows who I am. And if you don't, my name is Jerry Papa, and I'm domiciled, our favorite word, in your office in West Chase. We are a real estate company that specializes in property management. We're not your competition, we're your advocate, we're your business partner. We are the company that provides timely referral fees that we pay to do back to future homes that ultimately make their way back to you. We provide both lease management and full service property management throughout Tampa Bay. Our property managers are located throughout Tampa Bay, and they specialize in the areas. So as Manuela now knows, we have a new person, Stephanie Davis, who's living in the Brandon, Riverview, Del Rico area. So we have the four main components of the area that are covered. And we now have a new admin in our company who also is a property manager as well. I hope to introduce him, but he may be lost because he hasn't shown up yet. And again, we're a company that is here to service your needs and provide information and assistance in any way we can. We're members of PRO, and I'm on the Property Management Council for PRO.
Awesome. Great. If you don't want to do property management, a lot of reasons, a lot of agents will do property management or maintain that mostly because their fear of losing the client, right? Losing that relationship. So you want to maintain that relationship. Here's a way where I trust Jerry, all right, to take care of it, because one of the promises he's made is that it will come back, right? 3 years from now, they contact him and say, hey, look, I think I'm ready to sell this place. Oh, don't forget, Paulette's the one who recommended you. You need to talk to Paulette about doing it. You found it?
Yeah, Richard Stewart.
Richard, what's up, bro?
He just sat down. He's our new admin person.
Awesome.
So you'll see him in and out of the office. He's also a licensed realtor that specializes in property management. So welcome him to the team. And again, if you need anything and I'm not in the office, the best way to reach me is by way of text or by way of my cell phone.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Great. Welcome, Richard. All right. Glad you found it. Kevin, what's up, man?
Well, all kinds of stuff, but just wanted to say hi and thanks again for everything. I think everyone knows me and who we are. We're right next door to Bob's office and, well, his West Chase office.
Yeah.
Today, the main thing I'm here for is, you all know Christina Swan. We've been working with you all for almost 6 years, and she's handled the majority of that business, and she's suffering from a temporary medical condition right now. So, we've searched high and low, and we found a great replacement for her, which is Sabrina Walker, and she's here today to say hi to everyone. And she comes to us from a very big title company, primarily REO title company. They don't pay her. She was on the retail side of that company, handling more traditional business, and we're thrilled to have her. And so far, we're very impressed with her. So,
Awesome.
Sabrina.
Welcome, Sabrina. Awesome. Very good. And you have to keep us posted, all right? Let us know. Countdown's on. All right, the clock starts counting down. Should have timed that better. You got to have that baby before the end of the year, because you know if that baby's born on December 31st, you get the entire deduction for the whole year. All right? That's why if it's close, man, you get on a trampoline and make that happen. Right? Exactly. That thing's worth $3,500 of income tax deduction right now. Get the whole year.
They couldn't have it working on it.
That's right. Exactly. 31st. That's right.
Well, we can maybe get a backdate the birth certificate. Not
Not that we'd ever backdate anything in the title business. Right. Exactly. Gina, how are you?
Good morning, I'm well, how are you?
Awesome. Great.
14 in Buffalo, where I'm from.
See, look at that.
Right?
What I saw yesterday, somebody posted and said, the palm tree saw its shadow. 6 more weeks in Florida. 6 more weeks in Florida. That's awesome.
So yes, good morning, I'm Gina with Mr. Realty Locksmith Services. And so we have a whole plethora of services for you guys as realtors. A great closing gift is our Reiki special. We actually have a gift certificate program now, which makes it really easy for you to gift, if you like to do that. We have other services. If you are in property management like Jerry, we cater to property managers, so come by and say hi.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bob.
Good. Thank you. Brian.
Good morning, I'm Ryan Brown with Builder Public Home Warranty. This January meeting, so I hope everybody's having a good year. We're all going to be successful in 2015.
We are.
Oh, yes.
It's the year of doom.
But I was interested, I had an interesting conversation as I was walking over. I was talking to one of your agents, and they were talking about the fact that they hired this warranty company based on price. Price is not always the best way to hire a warranty company.
So says the higher price company, by the way. What are you going to do, right? You got to be. I'm just teasing. I understand.
However, you know, we need money to pay claims, and if you want your claims paid, it's always usually a pretty good idea not to usually pick the lowest price, because price is not what it's really about. It's really about the service and for us to come out and take care of your clients. And us taking care of your clients helps you get referrals from that client. So my job is actually help you get referrals in the long run. So anyway, Brian Brown, Republic, hope everybody has a great year.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian. Brian's a great guy. Looking around. Manuela.
We hired him because he gave us all the drink tickets at the Christmas.
See, there you go. Absolutely. See, vendors, that pays off. Don't you know, we...
Alcohol's always a good thing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know. See, tell that. Now take that back to your, people who had to write that check to say, hey, look, man, it's worth it. All right, we got, those drink tickets are, help pay for things and make things happen. Looking around, we good. I think we're set. We'll come back. Real quick housekeeping. I know Maureen's not here this morning. Hey, Trish, how are you? Good. Happy New Year. Jim, anything you need? 1099s went out. Okay. 1099s went out. You should have them in your mailbox. If for any reason, please check them now. Right? Please check them now. Let me say that again. Please check them now. Okay? Because that way, if there's a discrepancy, you think, hey, look, that needs to be adjusted, we can still do that, but we got to make sure. Also, if you are incorporated as an agent, which we highly suggest you do, you don't get a 1099 because a corporation does not have to 1099 another corporation. Well, how am I supposed to know how much I made? Well, if you are not keeping accurate books and you're incorporated, you're screwed. All right? So you need to be able to look at your own QuickBooks and say, oh yeah, that's how much I made because I am very organized, all right? And here I am. I got it down to a science. I'm good to go, all right? So, by the way, we'll be teaching another Why Incorporate class here soon because I'm telling you guys, it doesn't take much for that to pay off, Okay, if you're not incorporated, you're paying too much in taxes. Right? I can show you how to save money in taxes. Invest that money somewhere else. Stop giving to the unfunded liability of Social Security that is not going to be around anyway. All right, so I can show you how to do that. Just we'll do a class on that. All right, so that is why you incorporate. You don't incorporate for the legal protection, because guess what? Drive by and see the 5,000 billboards that say, "I'll get around any corporate veil you want. You've been damaged. I'll find a way to your company's E&O policy, no matter who you are." Morgan & Morgan, Fran Hash, dressed up in a Christmas stockings or whatever. Okay, it doesn't matter what they do to sell their services. They're going to find a way around it. The reason you incorporate is to save money on taxes. Period. Okay, that's just there's the benefits to doing that. So 1099s are out. Check them, because if there's discrepancy, we could correct them. All right, but don't do it. Trust me, I say this every year, and then April 13th, we get a rush of, "Oh, you checked it. You guys are off by 7 cents or something." Okay. First of all, 7 cents is not material enough for us to make a change, so don't worry about that. But in the meantime, check them, please. So you got it, all right? Also check them, because if your 1099 is not big enough, like, what the heck? How much did I only make that? Then starting tonight, we have our 100K club, all right, starting, which we're going to show you how to make more money, all right? Any 100Kers, all right? Oh, that's right. She can come on in. They smell the donuts. They can come on in. That's right. That's all right. It's awesome. We're the dietitians in the place's worst nightmare. All right. It's like, oh, whoa. They never bring that stuff in. And here, you see what I'm walking in like the Pied Piper. Like, just follow me in. It's like, how are you? So anyway, so if your 1099 is not big enough, come tonight, all right? We have, I think we had 40 chairs available in the room, and we have now 58 people signed up for tonight's 100K. So it starts at 7. I'd suggest you get there early or bring a lawn chair, all right? Okay, because it's gonna be, tight seating. That's tonight's. Tomorrow we also have a group. I think we got about 45 chairs available there, and we've got about 42 signed up now for that. So tonight's is at the Hampton Inn, Oldsmar. If you haven't been to 100K and you want to just come check it out and see what we're all about, it's 7 sessions beginning tonight, roughly every other week. Okay, roughly every other week. Some weeks we have a 3-week gap. Others we have only a 1-week gap. I'll just talk about that more. But it's just incredible stuff of getting together, learning from each other, living in an accountability, and being disciplined, taking a disciplined, systematic approach to the real estate business. I'm just telling you. We're going to study a lot of different stuff. It's not just real estate, 101. It's life 101. How am I going to be a better person? How am I going to change who I am so that therefore I can attract more business and stop worrying about having to chase business? All right, that's the goal. It's so much easier to attract than to chase. Nobody wants to be chased. People want to go to something. I'm going to show you how to be that person they want to go to, and that may take some sanding off some rough edges, all right, that we need to do so that we can get to that point. Fair enough? All right, so check that out. If you haven't signed up, come. All right, anyway, we'll find a spot for you. We'll triple deck or stack the chairs or something, find a way to get you in there tonight. Hampton Inn tonight, Pro tomorrow, Canals Growth Organization. Brian, not that you came in late, but here we'll get you. All right, what's up, man? Tell us about what you got going on.
Brian Heckman, I'm with the Heckman Mortgage Group. You have 100K going on, so there's nothing going on my end. It's all you. So yeah, I'm just
It's always all me.
I had a great conversation. Tom and I had coffee this morning, Scaglione, just about the importance that we have on the front end of sales transactions. About it's not just about showing property, it's not just about listing property, but it's about ultimately getting them closed, getting them to the closing table, whether they're the buyers or the listing side. And so there's a huge opportunity there to kind of create some marketing ideas to basically get customers up front to thinking about you not just as listing their home, but why you help them list their home to get it closed. For obviously, right, top dollar, fast as possible. Yeah. But there's some awesome ways, like we have some stuff where we're putting together. I'll share with you guys, we're not totally ready to launch it, but from the mortgage standpoint for buyers of getting the offer accepted, which a lot of it has to do with just being proactive up front as much as possible, so that we're going to present an offer, you've got a lending partner that can basically go to that listing agent and also just discuss, hey, here's the details of the financing proactively. Like we've kind of beta testing in fourth quarter, just had great response to listing agents literally telling us, hey, we picked your offer, Rick, because your guy sounds really good and that guy seemed to be really on top of financing. So we'll kind of be going through that. But it doesn't matter if it's me or somebody else, just the idea that you can go there and stop wasting your time with 20 different showings and 15 different offers and just help them get in the contract in the house they want.
Perfect.
So that's it. The rest of the mortgage stuff's kind of boring, so appreciate you trusting us.
All right, awesome. Brian's a great guy. Brian is very learning based, very education based, very let me help you based. He's always looking for the next. I mean, because quite frankly, mortgages are mortgages, right? I mean, rates are rates. It is what it is. Market's the market. All right. Okay, we'll talk about that later on tonight as well. But great guy. Be in business with somebody you trust. Make somebody like that part of your team. Okay. I trust Brian implicitly. He's a great guy. Cool. All right. Awesome. Sarah, you want to come up and introduce us? What are we doing?
Actually, Larry.
Okay, Larry's going to come up and do it. All right. Sarah's been here before, so come on up.
All right, can I get in there?
You go. Please
Very
do.
good. All right. Well,
Now,
good morning, everybody.
Here's the mic right here, so you got to stand close enough to the mic. All right.
Perfect.
There.
We're good. I'll project. We're good.
Where'd you get that tan?
This is Florida. It's the Florida life.
I'm telling you.
You don't get that 14-degree.
Call you John Boehner.
Well, listen, guys. Thank you for your time. Before I introduce my colleagues, I just want to do a little fun activity. Bob says that you guys like to have a little fun, and is that fair to say?
Fair to say.
Okay, good. So in front of you, most of you have a paper, and I appreciate you not turning it over. On the other side is the actual centerpiece of the activity, and it should be fun. And some of you may have seen this before, so if you have, just sort of hang tight and let some of your peers sort of go through the activity if you've seen this before. And some of you have a different sheet. Some may have a stop sign, on the front of your paper, and then the others have a welcome, okay? So what we're going to do is, on the count of 3, I'm going to ask you to flip over your paper. There's a sentence on the other side that I want you to read one time to yourself, inside voice, okay? Inside voice, not out loud. And just read it one time. When you're done reading it, look at me so I know you're done reading the sentence, okay? So don't say anything out loud. Some of you might recognize this activity. You guys ready? Everyone have a sheet, by the way? That's okay. Ready? So no cheating. Okay, here we go. And go. Flip it over. You want to, the one with the stop sign has instructions at the top. The one you want to do is read the one right here in the middle. There's one sentence on the other side. Read it to yourself. You're done. Is it Tom?
Yes.
Tom's done. I know that. It's just weird. Okay. Good. Good. Now, some of you have probably experienced what I like to call the Scooby-Doo moment. You know what a Scooby-Doo moment is? Anybody? It's like, oh, what was that, right? So, wait, we still have a reader. You're good? All right, good. All right, so I know the sentence doesn't make sense. It's not supposed to make sense. But what I'd like you to do is look at it one more time and count, and don't say anything out loud, but count the number of the letter F's you find in that sentence. Don't say anything. Look at me when you're done. Did you?
I see.
You're good. You're good. Okay. All right. You got it. All right. Good. How many seen this before? No. All right. This is good. Some of you are fibbing. All right. Look, raise your hand. How many of you count 3 F's? Raise your hand. 3. You got 3? You got 3. You got 3. Y'all have the same sentence. You have more than 3, don't you? How many do you have? You got 5.
6.
There are 6 F's in that. Now, don't tell your partners. Don't, you fair. So look one more time. There are 6 F's in that sentence. Y'all have the same sentence. F as in Frank. Sorry. That's why she got 1. What happens?
You guys that see 6 F's are thinking of your report card.
There you go. So do you still have 3? You get 3? There are 6 F's in that sentence. Yeah. One more time. Someone help out your colleague over here.
That's wild.
There's 6. One more time. All right, we're picking on him. You get it?
Phonetic F's or letter F's?
You get letter F's. Oh. You still have 3? There are 6 F's. You still have 3. Let's go through it together, guys. Finished files are the result of years I changed the slide and, you know, and so what did I do? So the point, now she's obviously, she's a different breed. She got the 6 right off the bat. She's the attorney in the group. Okay, that makes sense, Bob. There you go. So, but the point of the activity is sometimes you can look at something and you can look at it again and still see the same thing until someone points something out, a different perspective, right? But it's clearly there in front of you. And some people, we get a little bit, you can't tell me otherwise. I know what I know. I see what I see. There's no way in the world it could be anything other than 3 Fs until someone points something out. So with that being said, I have another F word I want to share with you. Okay, that didn't come out very well. It's not that kind of a meeting. No, but I want to introduce my colleague Sarah Bourdier of F Street Homes.
Very nice relationships.
Good morning. Thank you. I was here earlier last year, but nice to be back. I have a little history with Bob. Years ago we met when you just started Future Home Realty. Yeah, so it's amazing, another F word. Who is F Street Homes? We are a family company. We have just started developing in Oldsmar. I actually have had visits to the site, and F Street's Devin and Derek Rushnell came together, their developers, to create their own homes. And what I love about that is that I've worked for builders in many capacities, but this is, you can directly speak to the owners and take the advice from you and pass it on from the customers to the owners, which is great. So it's a non-corporate environment. But the community we are working with right now in Oldsmar is just coming out of the ground. I don't know if anybody's driven by off of Pine Street. It's Hayes Park Village.
My fire department, right?
Yes, and Hayes was created, actually was the first African-American police chief in the state of Florida. So we're named fire station, sorry. I'm not as good as public speaking as they are. I got the F's. But so it's a community, very much a community feeling, and they're cottage homes. We're very unique in the sense it's not that typical flat frontage architecture. There's a lot of detail and emphasis on the exterior. So I don't know if you want to pass the they're very cute. And price-wise, as we well know in West Chase, there's not been any land to build new, so I'm very excited. This is new construction right in the West Chase area, starting in the low 2s. Yeah, there's different.
Okay.
Some floor plans, some flyers.
Okay.
But we're at 1,200 square feet, going up to 1,600 living square feet. The price sheet's in there. Amazing for what we're offering. If you look at having a nice green space in the front, also pavers coming to the front door, and then the architectural detail, it's definitely more of a unique cottage environment. And the benefit is that they are limited maintenance. So limited maintenance, know that people, it's the benefit of owning a home, but having the exterior taken care of. Minimum, it's only $145 a month for your outside lawn care, future roof reserves. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the vineyards in West Chase. It's a little bit like that. So you have 7 foot between the home. And no gate to worry about or amenities or pool, so that's why it's going to be a low monthly payment. But it's very exciting. I have a model that's almost ready, and I have made sales. So if you have buyers that have a little insight, please bring them. Before the model opens, I'm going to be very happy. But until then, you just need some buyers with, again, insight. Yes, sir.
I know a lot of guys are asking about it. What's the commission?
Cobra.
Yeah, the 2%. Go ahead.
What?
3%, sorry. Sorry, that's why.
Plus, I'd like to add something for you, Sarah.
Yes, David.
Well, since Future Home Realty, since Future Home Realty begins with F, it would only be appropriate that we offer Future Home Realtors a bonus.
Yes.
In addition to the 3% commission, which is a standard co-broke for 8 months builders and realtors, Sarah will
How about $1,000?
$1,000 bonus for a future home realty customer between now and our model grand opening.
Which hopefully is at the end of February.
No, actually, we'll extend it through March
All right, through March.
Yeah.
for future home realty agents.
Yes.
Awesome.
How many homes will be on the site?
It's probably 55. It's a small, yes, it's very intimate. It's a combination of homes in the sense that 18-foot wide or 20-foot lots, and that's for the smaller, the 1,200 square foot homes. And it's a lifestyle choice. This will be a buyer that likes the feel of West Park Village, the neo-traditional, that wants that.
Up north, they used to call these shotgun houses, because you could see straight through
Yeah.
from the beginning to the end.
Yeah.
In Philadelphia, that's what they used to call them.
Yeah.
Yeah, were they attached or detached?
They're detached. They're 7 foot apart from each other.
And you have a backyard?
Actually, no. It depends on the lot, but basically, I guess the focus would be living in the front of your house. We have front porches. It's the congregation in the front.
Alleyways and garages in
Yes.
the back, right?
Yeah. So I envision the type of person that wants to be close to everything. West Chase doesn't want the maintenance of a single-family home, but wants home ownership. I mean, in the area, it's a great, like, there will be no more land after, I know I have a few.
And you're the size with no CDD?
No CDD,
Right.
just the one maintenance fee a month, $145, approximately $150. But of course, you can go to the clients go to the design center. These are very well appointed with standard features. Granite countertops in the kitchen, nice 42-inch cabinets, downstairs tile throughout. So for the price of $209 and a new construction, that's amazing, of course. But any other questions about?
Any closing costs for the buyer?
Yes, working with our preferred lender is a great question, thank you. We will contribute $10,000 either towards upgrades or options or towards closing costs. And again, if there's a buyer that you have right now that has the insight, we could do a little bit more incentives before that model will open. But we do have a spec home under construction as well, so that should be coming out. I don't have pricing quite yet, so you wouldn't be waiting too long. Expected to build is 180 days, maybe. Yeah, it just depends on which lot they would select and what their needs are. We also,
Is or is not 55 plus?
is not.
Good.
And pets are allowed, of course, the family, it's not too restricted. Masters are all upstairs. They're all 3 bedrooms with a master up, and then they do have the garages in the rear, so it's a nice front facade when you come in.
Do you have extra parking outside?
Yes, additional parking is, there's a site map on the back of the brochure, and that shows you the layout of the green spaces in the center with the town, with the cottage homes surrounding that, and around the perimeter of the community is additional parking. Yes, ma'am?
What's the process to register our clients?
Call me. Online you could do as well, definitely. I'm not the type that you have to be there with the client, right, Dave? No, but usually I ask the client or your customer, are you working with someone? But it's not necessary that you have to be there at the first meeting. My cell number is all throughout that. I carry it with me 24/7, so call me because I won't be on site.
What's your name again?
Sarah?
Sarah, okay. Oh, so,
Sarah, I just want to add
Please do.
a couple other quick things. Our backgrounds all are from new home building companies. The principals, the founders of S3 Homes, myself, Kevin and Derek Bushnell, had worked with major national home building companies such as Taylor Morrison, Lennar, Inland Homes, Flores Housing Corporation, companies that you're all very familiar with. So we understand new homes, we understand new home sales process. That's an excellent question. We prefer you accompany your customer, but it's not necessary. If you contact Sarah, say, here's my customer, we of course will honor that as a realtor broker registration.
Do it on the front side. I mean, I know you guys all get upset. Hey, I won't do it. My client walked in and now it's ready to close and I walked in and said I want a commission and they're like really causing a stink. Well, so would you. Okay? Quite frankly, it puts you on the other foot. All of a sudden you show up out of nowhere and now it's time to, oh, by the way, I haven't been here for the last 5 months, but now I'm ready for my commission. All right, so, but it sounds like they're reasonable on the front side as well, that they're not going to make you, handcuff yourself to your buyer and walk in with them. But just be reasonable from the onset. She's giving you her cell phone number. She is the sole sales agent there, right, Sarah?
Yes, and I've been a buyer's agent,
Yeah,
I've
so
been
you
in general
understand.
real estate, I totally understand that
Right.
side of it, and that
Right.
it's hard when you don't get compensated when you've been working with a buyer.
That's true, but you also got to understand from their perspective as well. It's one thing to try and jump in last minute, you know what I mean? And so, because quite frankly, none of you here, all right, but everybody else talks to their aunt in Gainesville, who's a realtor, and say, hey, by the way, you know what, I can kick you back some of that jack if you, just include me on the deal. Say, well, we're ready to do our final walkthrough tomorrow. Okay, let's see if we can call them and see. And so that becomes a little poor, you know what I mean? So but that sounds very reasonable that they're willing to allow you, hey, look, I got somebody in the neighborhood, I was showing some other properties, I gotta go do another appointment, but I'm gonna send them over to you. Sarah, can I have your word that we're protected on this and we're good to go?
Yeah, and you bring them and just let me do the talking.
Yeah.
I'm not usually this nervous, but one-on-one, in that sense, just, answer all the questions directly for your buyer. And if I don't know, I'll get back to you, because we're starting out and there's growth spurts, which is exciting. I think it's exciting to be a part of this project, and these are unique, but definitely more unique to the area. We also have a community in Brandon, and that I'll pass around. Do you work in Brandon at all?
We have some Brandon agents.
Yes, yeah, I know you do. Pricing is coming out shortly on these. These are estate homes. We're in a community with David Weekley, Hunter's Lake. It's beautiful, and 80 to 100 foot lots. So Dave said pricing maybe at the end of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I do actually.
Is the Ellsworth property in a flood zone?
No, it's not. And we raised the, there's no flood insurance.
She just got no flood insurance. I'm
It's
sure
also-
I'm for everybody else.
It's Pinellas, so it's lower taxes, right? Great school system. The Forest Lakes is right there. And also the East Lake High School is great. Much better than what we're zoned for in West Chase.
It's not being recorded too late.
Sorry.
All right, no taking it back now. Who is it? Whose husband is the principal?
Yeah, no, but I love to work with all of you. I've worked in this area for 10 years. I love living. I live right in West Park Village. I was the first to live in there in dirt. And I love to see how it's come together with all the restaurants and the quality of life. Yes, that's me.
Sarah's great. And you know what? And if she doesn't if you call and she doesn't protect you, then you let me know, because I'll put her in headlock. I go way back, and I can do that. Give her a noogie. Absolutely. All right, David, thanks. That's kind of nice. We got the builder right here. We can, ring them up and say, hey, I've met you before.
No, and I like the feedback, and I give it right to Dave. And that's what's nice about being a startup in the sense of communication.
The three principals, all first names begin with D, but we didn't become D Street Homes. As we were talking about what are we gonna name our new building company, Derek said, well, I want it to be about family. Evan said, I want it to be friendly, and I said, and I want it to be fun.
Dave's all about
So we
fun.
became F Street.
There you go. Like it.
And every model is an F.
Very good. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Good luck with the project, too. That's awesome. Good deal.
Well, I
Perfect.
hope to see you soon.
All right.
Take care.
Well, $1,000 bonus through March 31st.
The end of March.
Of 2016, I heard it. Here we go. All right.
I'm gonna leave some here.
Trying to think if I got anything else going on. We've already covered 100K, covered our 1099. Man, you ready? All right. So I called Manuela. Come on up. Manuela Woodrum. Come on. Come on. Let's get a couple chairs up here for you. Get you in. Perfect. All right, so Manuela didn't even know. I think number 7 in our company last year. Do you know that? That's impressive right there. It's one thing to be number 7 in a company of 7. All right, okay. Anybody can say that. All right, but number 7 in our company is big league. All right. Well north of $5 million in sales. All right, do the math. I can project that out for you. I told you my son, from early on, when he was 5 years old can do his 3 multiples and 6 multiples like that. Because any realtor's child better know how to multiply by 3 and 6.
That's right.
All right, because that's what it's all about, right? Exactly. All right, Joseph, what's 6% of 180,000? That's 10,800. Good job. All right, that's dollars, by the way, so don't forget about it, right? So, Manuela just had an awesome year. Manuela came to us. How long have you been with Future Home?
Since 2009.
2009, and before that you were KW, right?
KW and Remax.
Okay. And with you were a buyer's agent for the Gary and Nikki team, right? Okay. And kind of cut your teeth a little bit there. That's where you learn to work with buyers, right? If you're a buyer's agent for Gary and Nikki Ubaldini, do a ton of business, obviously. And Jim, can you hear us? Okay. Can you hear Manuela? Okay, good. So do a ton of business, and tell us. Let me ask you this: the buyer presentation you did with them.
Yeah.
Do you still do a similar type buyer presentation now? And the answers, I mean, I don't know the answers to these questions, so.
No, I don't. I've done them for so many years, and I always got them signed. But I feel like if I do a good job for somebody and they feel they can trust me, I don't need the buyer's agreement. I know there's a lot of agents that disagree with me, but when it comes down to it, and if somebody wants to cheat, I feel they're gonna go do it anyways. Am I going to sue somebody because they went in straight? No, not. So I think it's just a trust thing. And
awesome. And specific to that, let me ask you this: that was geared toward having an exclusive buyer agency. Let me ask you this: let's go back, step back. What's your percentage of buyers represented versus sellers? Roughly. You work more with buyers or sellers?
I work more with buyers.
Okay, good. Have you had many problems with people straying?
Not once.
Not once, okay. And I'm a firm believer in that too. What she was talking about was, well, some companies and don't get me wrong, I support people getting exclusive buyer agency agreements signed. All right, nothing wrong with that. Mentally, if nothing else, it may mentally lock them in. All right, whether or not legally, again, Fran Hash and Morgan can get around it anyway, and or are we going to really take somebody to court and spend $8,000 to try and gain $4,500? Probably not, right? But mentally, they're locked in. But if you do a good job and tell them what you're going to do and how you're going to represent them.
Well, here's the other thing. That doesn't mean I'm not doing my consultation with them.
There you go.
I still do the consultation with them. I just don't have them sign that paperwork at the end. I prep them, just that we just talked about, the new construction. I prepare my clients. Do not ever go without me to a new construction site. If you do go, the first thing you say when you walk into that door, I have an agent that represents me. I also prep them for open houses. If you ever go on a Sunday and you see an open house, do not go in there and sign in without my name behind your name. So I think it's all about if you educate your buyers.
Well, you're showing them the advantage, right? We're going to talk a lot in the 100K Club. I'll give you a little heads up. If you've ever been to 100K, the old, if you're going to last, you better list in this business, all right? Folklore. That's you've been around since the days of old. I'm not a firm believer of. I think my listings always came from my buyers. They were, you know what I mean? I worked a ton with buyers myself, and I like Manuela. I had my buyers convinced that they had like a dog collar on, that if they walked through, they would get shocked if they didn't use my name and leave with my card going in, right, to some other spot. So that's impressive. But you do that in the buyer. Give me an example during your buyer consultation. Is it formalized? Do they come to the office? Or are you just kind of sitting around Starbucks?
We're just gonna meet wherever we feel like. Most of the time, since I love to eat, obviously.
Yeah.
I take them out to a nice lunch, and we just sit down and talk about it, and I have my little notepad with me, and every now, I jot down what they talk about, and I make it more about them, talk about what their ultimate goals are.
That kind of comes from the Gary and Nikki team, right? A little bit. What would make this a 10++? What would make it a 10++? Have you ever read? By the way, if you yeah, right. And how many pluses do they put behind there, Joe? Eventually, 3. Okay, 3. Okay, all right. Because you're trying to pile down, but there's value in that, right? There really is, because it's going from a remember the concept is that we are not real estate salespeople, we're real estate consultants, right? And if I'm gonna consult somebody, then I need to know their needs. If I'm gonna be a needs-based person, meaning I'm gonna help you, what's what I'm looking for? Accomplish your goals, right, in home ownership, then I need to know what those goals are, right? And so you kind of just plow, and it becomes pretty natural, I would think, right?
Right.
After a while, you don't feel like it's, like I'm grilling them.
No, it doesn't. And when I first joined that team, and I just moved here fresh from Germany, and obviously my English isn't perfect. I read through the scripts, and I'm like thinking, oh my God, that's never gonna be me. I'm gonna sound so fake. But when you do it over and over, I don't know how many times at night I watched Nikki's video. It was kind of like embedded, and what I did, I took the script and just made it my own. I didn't, use all the fancy words because I couldn't remember them. So I just made it my own script, and I had fun with it. And I love what I do, so for me it was never I never looked at it as work. I just
That's awesome.
And plus, I always think, why wouldn't they want to hire me anyways?
Right, and that's a great attitude to have, right? You go with the thing like, hey, look, I've got what you need, right? And the game's over right there, by the way. All right, you go on a buyer consultation and you are their answer in your own mind, if not their mind yet, then it's over. All right, there is no, debate about this. I'm going to show that there's no need for me to have them sign, because people are hesitant to sign an exclusive buyer agency agreement, especially after I don't care if you did buy me a nice lunch.
Yeah.
All right, I'm still like, wait, now I'm even more skeptical about what you want me to sign right now, right? To do that. So that's cool. So let me ask you this. Okay, so that's great. But I'm looking around, agents that weren't number 7 in our company right now, or that didn't do $5 million in sales. That's great, Manuela, but how do you find the people to take the lunch? That's, how do you find these clients? That's great, I'm glad you convert them, but where's your business come from?
Facebook.
Say that again?
Facebook.
Facebook, all right. Now help us establish that a little bit more. What do you mean by that?
I'm on Facebook 24/7. I don't blast on my personal side that I'm a realtor 24/7. But I do post when I have a closing. When I'm at a title company, I post, I'm at a closing, congrats to my clients, X and X. I never ever tag clients of mine in a post because a lot of people might not like that. I also, when I get testimonials, I don't put their last names. I keep it very informal. If they see the post, a lot of my clients, they will comment themselves and say, thank you for the great job you did. And I have a personal Facebook page and I have a business page, and I post on both. But even on my business page, 80% of my posts are not real estate related. Mm-hmm. I just post, not for
fun things, or things, informational things. Hey, this is a great restaurant.
Yeah, or like now a good thing to post is about the tax homestead exemption, because a lot of people that bought last year, they might have forgotten, so now is a good time to pick up the phone. Hey, don't forget to file for your homestead exemption. By the way, hey, do you want to go out to lunch sometimes? And I find the face-to-face are the most important. Usually every time I take somebody out to lunch, a couple of weeks later I get a call, hey, by the way, a coworker of mine is looking to buy a house.
It's the highest level of the pyramid of 7 levels of communication, isn't it? Face to face. We call it eyeball to eyeball, meatball to meatball, right? We take them out to lunch. Here we go. All right, let's go. Let's talk about it. What are your needs? What can I help you with? And so on and so forth. You're going to learn in 100K, right? That it's not, hey, look, I'm going to take you out to lunch, and by the way, since I'm paying for lunch, all right, give me 3 names right now, right? No, I take you out to lunch, and it's like, hey, what can I help you with? Right, what's your biggest challenge right now? What's how can I give to you? All right, and I know this, and I can say this with Manuela up here because I know how she rolls. All right, it's like, hey, look, what value can I add to you first, so that then eventually you will add value to me as a byproduct of that. So they're coming in. They hear all about you, Manuela. They're just coming in. All right.
So, and then I have to say, when I joined Future Home Realty, I had no sales at all because I had to start from scratch again. So I thought to myself, gosh, I got to get back into it, and that's when I started attending Bob's 100K Club meetings, and that's when things started to roll again. I did what he taught in the 100K Club, and just all.
Manuela 2 years ago came and one of your main goals was to be a capper.
Yeah.
Right? I remember. Yeah, she wanted lunch, right? Exactly. The main goal was to be a capper and really applied herself, right? And it wasn't easy. Took effort and so on and so forth, but really plowed down and got a ton of stuff done. You guys have a meeting in here coming up?
Pardon?
At 11 o'clock or something?
11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. All right. Well, we'll make sure we're out of here by then. All right. Just I wanted to make sure we're.
Aren't you the computer?
No. We're having a meeting. You guys can stick around. Yeah, you can stick around. We'll be out here by 11. We'll make sure you're good to go. I think you were late or something. All right. That's right. Pick yourself. There's coffee and water, donuts and bagels up there. You're good to go. Awesome. That's right. And obviously there was something that's even more so than usual. I totally heard about you. You know what? Okay, so now I'm gonna have to double what I pay him for this room now.
Yeah.
All right, so we can reserve it, which is double zero is 0. All right, so it's the cost of a free room. All right, so now, do you list it all?
I do every now and then.
Right, but not a ton.
No.
Kind of strictly. How much of your business then is referral based? 100% is referral based, meaning so you don't go out necessarily and solicit for new business because it's just kind of coming to you, right? Based upon quality service given, people remember you and refer you to them. Manuela, also I want to touch on this before we head out, is big in the military, right? Your ex-husband? Husband. Okay, husband. It's all right. We're just opening ourselves up. We'll do it. Now tell me a little bit about it. Your husband was in the military, retired, right? So she had that relationship there and has established that and parlayed that knowledge into working with a lot of veteran buyers, correct? A lot of VA financing, a lot of other stuff that's out there involved in McDill quite a bit. Elaborate on that a little bit.
Well, I've been doing military relocations long before they had the MRP designation. I've been doing it for over 32 years, had a lot of contacts, and when 2 years ago I thought, gosh, I hate doing open houses, so I had to find something where I could key in on the experience I had before. So I figured, wow, Greg's retired Army, why don't I try to focus on that a little bit more? So I just touched base with a whole bunch of military people we were stationed together and happened to find out a bunch of them were at McDill. So, it just opened up doors that, I didn't even think about.
Okay, so you out there, expand your mind. You may not have a husband that's an ex-military, right? But what experience do you have? Where is your sphere, right? And how do I parlay that into helping them? Not about how do I parlay that into dollars, right? How can I help that group, all right, so that it eventually becomes a synergistic relationship?
Another thing that I do, I used to volunteer a lot at my daughter's school, and I was very active in the PTA. So I'm like, man, there's so many programs out there with the county for teachers, for firefighters, for policemen, just first-time home buyers. There's so much available out there. Just dig into that stuff. A lot of people don't know about the USDA loans. If you bring that to somebody's attention, that thought, I just had a young couple, they thought they could never buy a house, and I'm like, let me do a little bit of research. There's a USDA loan. You might have to go a little bit outside outside of the campus city area, but there's a program, and they're taking the class right now, and hopefully in a couple of months they'll be ready to buy.
Just look for ways that you can differentiate, right? Oh, everybody knows a realtor. Yeah, but not everybody knows a realtor that's familiar with the USDA. Not everybody knows a realtor who has VA, down like the back of their hand. Not everybody knows a realtor who does what I do, okay? And so with that in mind, you begin to expand, all right, what your mindset of what the possibilities are. And hey, I wonder how many other people I can help. I love the fact that teachers are pouring their lives into our children and doing all this work for, quite frankly, little money, but how can I help them?
And the other thing is too, before I went to the 100K club, I always thought when I was on my own, gosh, who am I? How am I going to succeed? There's all these top agents in the area. Why would somebody hire me? I kind of fell in that pity thing. Mm-hmm. And, and then plus my English isn't so good. And I'm like, I can't talk as fancy as some of the other agents. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. As long as you do good to people, it doesn't matter if you have a PhD or if you can say all these fancy words that my 17-year-old daughter can say and I can't say. It doesn't matter. Just do a good job and show people really that you care. That's all it matters. And it's going to come along. And follow what he says.
Yeah. I just had a couple questions. Manuela, do you use a closing coordinator?
No, but I should.
That's probably why we get them up here, because you guys ask the tough questions. All right.
And one more. And then the $5 million you did last year, how many transactions was that?
I think I did like 24 or 26.
Okay, so I'm asking from that point, but you know how they always say on the buyer side, 36 transactions is kind of the most that any single agent can do.
Right.
So I'm kind of trying to figure that.
And I would beg to differ with that because I did close to 100.
Yeah.
And 90 of them were buyer control. And I had a closing coordinator. It wasn't I had a big team. All right, so I would kind of blow that myth apart that, especially now in today's with technology and so on and so forth, but Manuela's probably at a stage where she should have a closing coordinator because she maybe could have done 29 transactions or 42 transactions with a closing coordinator, right? Because that would allow her more free time to do out. Now, I want to parlay back, thanks Joe for that. You talk about music being the universal language, all right? Authenticity is the universal language. I don't care if your English is stunted, people will smell authentic on you, all right? And when you truly have integrity and care about your client's best interest and truly are a consultant and don't have what we joke around in the 100K about of having commission breath, all right? Because they can smell commission breath from about 50 feet out, all right? But truly are authentic and care about them. And I know that because I see Manuela's, people who post Manuela's stuff. Sometimes I have to cut and paste it into a German to English translator, all right? Because you have some of that, right? But people do, and she has a loyal following, not because she is a rock star, but because she's authentic. That people know they can trust her, all right? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, people do business with people they know, like, and trust. Not because you had a billboard, all right? Not because you had the slickest PowerPoint presentation at the listing presentation. It's because of you, all right? And that's a testimony to you and who you are. So, any other last questions before they get the computer guru up here? Oh, the changing room? Okay, we got some time. All right, awesome.
Yeah, and coming back to commission, I never make it about the commission. I always let my clients know if we negotiate a deal, and I just had one recently where the seller couldn't budge. My clients really wanted a house, so what? I give from my commission, because I feel even if I give $2,000 on this deal, I'm gonna make it up somewhere else, And there's so many agents on the other side, where I know you can't ask them to help with the commission. And before I even say anything to that extent, it's like, well, I'm not going to give anything from my commission. I'm like, you know what? Then nobody's going to make a deal. If I can make my clients happy, then I will give something from my commission. And I throw something towards their closing costs. And, people talk about that so much afterwards, and I get so many calls of referrals after that because I gave $2,000 for my commission. Big deal.
Here's the thing. Give up $2,000 your commission, all right? The realtor who wouldn't says, no, I can't give that up because I got to pay for my billboard. right? Okay. And so driving by the billboard, people refuse to call that person, but Manuela gets 8 transactions from the client that she gave $2,000 to make the deal happen that could have bought 12 billboards, but she doesn't need a billboard because her social media and that client is her billboard, right? Who better to have, out there touting your praises than someone that says, man, grab people by the throat and say, oh, wait, what did I hear? You're thinking about buying or selling? Come here. You've got to use my friend Manuela. All right? You've got to. I don't care. You will use my friend Manuela. Let me tell you the story about what she did for me. All right? And those kind of stories are invaluable. I don't care. All the bus benches in the world can't get you those stories. They really can't. All right? And that's so true. We teach all the time. Every transaction should represent 5. Right? That deal and the 4 referrals minimum you're going to get for that this year. All right? So 1 equals 5. So therefore, you don't see it as 1 is it's only a $1,200 commission. I got to pay Bob $250 by the time I drive around. Is it really worth it? Well, let's talk about what the other 4 might represent. Okay? I'm a big transaction guy. Now, I'm not, hey, what's your volume? I'm glad you did 17 million in sales, but I think that transactions lead to transactions, and Manuela's proving that.
Oh, and then, the other thing I forgot, I do also show rental properties, and I live in Palm Harbor, and I drive all the way over to Brandon to show a rental property for $300. Because again, first of all, those tenants eventually are going to be buyers. I've converted a bunch of them before. And second of all, they're just amazed because they called just 50 agents that would show them the rental. I drove all the way from Palm Harbor, an hour over to Brandon to show them 6 rentals, and they get one, finally are approved. It's just a no-brainer. Is it a lot of hard work? Do I spend a lot of hours on the road? Yes. But I also get to take time off when I'm not busy, so it all. And
there's more to come on, your commute is driving across the Courtney Campbell Causeway.
Yeah.
People fly thousands of miles to get the chance to drive on the Courtney Campbell Causeway, right? Come on, it's not like we are in the middle of, Topeka, Kansas right here, okay? We live in a beautiful area, right? Yeah. That's a commute. And to her point, you guys, it's so hard to find good contacts, but then, I'm not going to go there for $300. Well, guess what? The contact is a contact that can lead you to a transaction, which will lead you to transactions.
Yeah.
All right? It's really, that's why we're going to show on the slide tonight that 80% of realtors this year will make less than $46,000 in gross commission income. Why? Because they're freaking lazy. Okay? I'm sorry if you want it. By the way, don't come tonight if you want to be patted on the hand and say it's okay. All right? And for me to blow smoke up your backside. All right? Okay? If you want that, then go to another session. All right? Tonight's session is not for that. These are for those people that hardcore say, you know what? Here's my line in the sand. Today's the day. I'm going to make a difference. This is going to be my year.
And last but not least, the other thing is I hold myself accountable. I don't work well with an accountability partner because I just don't do it. But what I purchased Brian Buffini Referral Maker, and yes, it's $50 a month, but it's an investment in my business that I run. Mm-hmm. So it tells me every day who I need to call. It tells me every day who I need to send a note card to, and it just helps me keep on track. I open it up in the mornings. I do my tasks. I plan out my morning. I have on there normally 9 to 10 o'clock calls, card writing, and I don't get distracted during that time because if I go on Facebook, I get lost with all the other posts. You have to focus and just stay on track and do what you're supposed to do. And
she made in excess of $100,000 last year, all right? If I were going to pay you a salary, says, hey, John, I'm going to, come on here. I'm going to write you a contract, an employment contract. You're going to be my employee, but here's what I need you to do. Every day from 9 to 10, I need you to open up this Buffini Referral Maker and do the tasks that are there for 1 hour. How many of you would do it if I pay you $100,000 a year to do it? all day long, there's no problem, Bob. But why won't you do it now? It's because you don't believe in yourself enough to think that that's really going to translate it. Here is proof that that works, all right? That right there is stuff that makes a difference. That's awesome stuff right there.
2012, I had 3 transactions.
3 transactions in 2012.
2010, I had 2. 2009, I think I had 1.
Just decide, it was a decision, right?
Yeah, it was click, just like, I need to make a click to finally lose the weight. I wish it would make that click that fast too, but it made click. I can do this, I've done it before in Germany when I worked for my dad. I was successful over there. I'm gonna do this, and I kept going to Bob's meeting, and I kept just saying,
read books even though she begrudgingly. Matter of fact, I had to give her a book on CD first, right?
Yeah.
Get her used to it.
Fred was the book that I read where it finally made click. I can do this.
It's a Fred Factor. It's a great book. That's awesome. And so, how about questions from you guys? Anything? Yes.
I would like you to expound on that referral book. I've never heard of it before.
Oh, the Buffini. It's a referral group, right?
It's a program that you buy. It's a system. It's called Brian Buffini Referral Maker.
Buffini.
If you go to YouTube, they have a little video. It shows it how it works, and you can download a trial for 30 days.
Is it kind of like a contact management system
and all that
management,
stuff? They give you templates. They send you emails every week on things that you can do. It's kind of like almost like a personal coaching.
But it's online, so you can do it, and then probably gives you some ideas. Instead of sending out an email flyer, you post that on your Facebook, or here's an idea. So just ideas that you can do as you expand your social network.
But for me, it was more like not that other stuff. It was more like, okay, who do I need to call now? You import all your clients, and then it tells you, who's to call.
It's a communication plan, right? It's what it is, Brian, right? Because it's, hey, look, here, we pare it down to my core 150, all right? And then once you have that 150, now let's develop a communication plan around that 150, all right? Once a quarter, I'm going to actually talk to them on the phone. Once a quarter, I'm going to write them a personal note. Once a quarter, every year, I'm going to make sure that they get their birthday call. All that kind of stuff. And that stuff matters, guys. It really matters.
And there's many other ones out there. Top Producer, and there's a couple of free ones that a lot of agents use. Realty Juggler and whatnot. I tried them all. I just like the Brian Buffini one, had the little color things. Like a 5th grader. I just like color. So for me, that one did the magic, the color things in there.
See?
Even so it was $50, but that one made me actually do my calls.
Yeah. Well, and sometimes when you're paying for it, you feel like I better do this, right? So there's sometimes there's value in paying for something, even though something else is free, because hey, you know what? If I'm paying for it, I better do it. You know what I mean? That's an accountability, if you will, to do that. Great question, by the way. Anybody else? No, follow up.
You said that most of your sales have been through buyers, but the ones that you did through listings, how did you get your listings? What's the best way that you get your listings?
Referrals.
We preach a lot. You want more listings? Work with more buyers.
Yeah, they'll sell it.
It's you know what? Because at the end of the day, at the end of the day, the days of being the listing guru, all right, and here's the problem with technology. All right? Okay, you better convince me. Okay, I get the 3% if you bring a buyer, if I'm a consumer. The 3% on the other side, okay, remind me what you're doing for that, Mr. Listing Agent. Like, well, I'm going to put in the MLS. Okay, what else? Well, it's going to be enhanced listing on Realtor.com and go out to all these list hub, You know what? I just did a little research and I found this company for $220. We'll put it in the MLS, have an enhanced listing, do a virtual tour, and have it out to 5,642 websites, including everyone that you listed. Next. Okay, come on with me. Okay, so now that's $220. So now convince me of the other $4,800 you want me to pay to list the home. Understand that if that's your value proposition, hey, I can put it in the MLS and Realtor.com. All right. Other people are value propositioning that for a lot less. So understand that. But if you have the relationship, now it's like, hey, look, I know how she negotiated for me when I was a buyer, or how she negotiated for my aunt. And so I can see the value, because that's where I think the value, where you do justify your hey, look, as a buyer, as a buy owner, you don't have the techniques that I have down to help you negotiate and navigate through this.
The other thing is, it's funny because I really don't like doing listings. And not a lot of agents say that, but I go into a listing presentation. I have a little power slide that I set up as a pre-listing presentation. I email to the clients. So I prepare their mindset already, and I focus on price, location, condition. Price, location, condition. I ask them, did you look at my PowerPoint slide before I go? And then if they said no, then I said, you need to look at that before I come over. And I refuse to take a listing on, and I know a lot of agents disagree, but I need them to understand this is really where I think the house will sell. And most of all, I keen in on it doesn't matter what you want, because it's all up to the appraiser. If it doesn't appraise, it's not going to sell. So I kind of prepare them. And if I see or feel like they're not really motivated, I say, hey, and they tell me they have another agent. I'm like, you know what? Go interview that agent and then just call me in 6 months again.
There you go.
You know, because why would I want to spend my money on a listing that I feel I'm not going to be able to sell?
Right. Exactly. That's a good point. Answer the question, okay? All right, good. Anybody else? Brian.
Are you incorporated?
Right.
Sorry, I didn't even.
Talk to me April 15th when you get, dadgum, 15.3% on top of my income tax? All that for FICA? Son of a. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, WTF, right? You're gonna say it, talk to me. All right, you're gonna, Bob, what's the name of that accountant you recommend? I'm gonna get those emails. What's the name of that guy? They can incorporate me. That's all right, good question. Should, all right, she should.
I know.
That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. You know, it's a process we learn. It's, you know, she'll be able to retire better on Social Security back in the day or someday. All right, because she's paid more in. Tom.
One thing I want to caution you about, Manuela, do a PA. Don't do an LLC. The state legislature has just poked all kinds of holes in LLCs, and I'm probably going to switch mine from an LLC to a PA.
Okay.
The accountant will tell you that.
Yeah.
Unbehagen.
Yeah.
I mean,
I promote PA myself, and it's mostly because of Unbehagen. Maybe they drilled it into me way back in the day. That, yeah. So, good point.
Okay.
Sole proprietor, single entity LLCs they're really saying, hey, you're just trying to do that. To do it, so PAs are better.
Well, the state changed all kinds of regulations.
See, there you go. Okay.
It's no longer the same protection.
Yeah, understood. Cool. More questions for Manuela? Yes, ma'am.
Who did your Facebook page?
I did.
Did you?
Yeah.
Good job.
Thank you.
You know, and set up a business page on that is
It's really easy.
yeah, it's really. I mean, trust me. I
And you can actually on the business page. I'm actually not on the page every morning at 6. I program my posts, and I do them every Sunday night. I have this ritual where I spend 2 hours and program out the next 2 weeks. Wow. So it automatically posts. Now I do go on every night or during the day if I have time. If somebody liked something or left a comment, I do comment on it because you want to still interact. But I
that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. Did you hear that? You can pre-program your post to come out at 6 a.m. for the next, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the next 2 weeks. Boom, boom, boom. Here's what I want going out then, and then. So once it's done, Julie.
Where do you get your posts? Like where do you find stuff to post? You just
I just research the internet. Look at other agents' pages. I read a lot of real estate blogs, and I see stuff, and I just take it from there.
A good one to start with, if you're looking for some stuff, is Inman. INMAN.
The problem with Inman is that if you're not a member, after a certain number of days, you can't read it.
Okay.
DS News is a better one.
DS?
DS News.
Okay. David Sam News.
You really don't want more than 20% of your posts be real estate related.
Correct.
The other thing I do, I pick my lender, my preferred lender's brain, and he kind of gives me stuff. And plus I know so much about VA loans that I can post the ins and outs of that. That's really my focus, the VA. because that's 90% of my
Jerry?
business.
Manuela, who do you think is a trusted partner in property management business?
Oh,
Tampa?
so I run a Facebook group, and I recently partnered with Jerry over there after we had a long conversation, and he's a perfect match for me. So I posted on my group and I said, hey, if you're ever moving away and you need somebody to manage your property, or if you're an investor and you need property management so you're not called at 2 o'clock in the morning because your toilet's clogged up, Jerry will do that. And I even said on there, you know, I don't even want a referral fee. I just want you to use Jerry and he'll take good care of you. And some of the people were, what, you gonna give your commission back to me? As like, so I only have to pay less to him? And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. And this way I don't have to worry about it.
Did he give you free train tickets too?
Yeah, good job, Brian. Right here, right? You got tickets. Yeah.
With your VA loans, are you having a problem with appraising the VA loans? Or does your lender have a good rapport that they always have the same appraiser go out for the loans?
No, they don't get to pick the appraiser anymore. That used to be in the old days. It depends. I try to do my homework with the comps as much as I can.
Because they're still conservative, aren't they?
They are conservative. But 90% of the time I would say I'm okay. And I will tell my clients too up front. I'll educate them on, hey, look, this house is really overpriced, and if they still want to move forward with a higher offer, I tell them, here, this is what can happen. You spend $450 on the appraisal, you spend $450 on the home inspection. If this doesn't appraise and the seller doesn't adjust the price, you know, it's a dead deal, then you could be ultimately out of $900. So what I've been doing on the ones where I'm iffy, if I think, I always do my visual and try to detect stuff that's wrong with the home. If I think the home inspection will be an easy thing, I usually extend my home inspection period, and I have my lender order the appraisal rush ASAP to make sure that it appraises, and then we do our home inspection afterwards. So I save them some money. And sometimes I've written in the contract, if the listing agent, you know, you have some listing agents that, oh, this is gonna appraise, there's no issues, you know. And I'm like, okay, but if you're not sure that it's gonna appraise and, you know, there's no issue, then how about we write in the contract that you're gonna pay for my client's appraisal if the appraisal comes back, you know, not good, and your seller is not willing to go down with the price, and she goes, well, you know, I can't do that because what if it appraises a lot lower? And I'm like, you just told me that you think it would appraise, so you shouldn't have an issue with your client signing that, right? Put your money where your mouth
is, right? Exactly.
So I've put that verbiage in there too. Some will sign it, and if not, then, you know, it's ultimately my client's decision. But I always prepare my clients so they can't say, well, I wish you would have told me that. So, well, I have told you that.
It's good stuff.
And the appraisers, what I found on the VA loans, I've talked to a lot of appraisers because I do a lot of deals in Brandon, Riverview, where there's a lot of old and new. They told me they don't use the new construction comps to compare to an older home resale. They just don't do it. And a lot of agents, they use new construction comps versus a resale home, and it doesn't work.
And Manuela sent me either a private message or a text or something the other day about, hey, look, I had like 3 or 4 deals recently that had appraisal issues. And you were from the buyer side as well, not from the listing side, but hey, look, I want to do a better job. And so I'm looking for, one of the things I want to, in the next month or so, put together, find a really good appraiser who's willing to come in and help us think like he thinks. You know what I mean? Hey, look, here's what we look at. For instance, hey, you know, we can't, if it's more than 15 years old, we're not going to look at stuff that's, you know, 2 days old as far as comp, and all these kind of things, so that we can better educate our clients and be better at helping them do that. So keep your eyes and ears open. I'll find one. If you happen to know a good appraiser that might be willing to do that, let me know.
And plus, I used to have a cheat sheet where when you do a CMA, where you make the adjustments. I had the dollar amount values on the cheat sheet, and I can't find it anymore. So.
Right, and maybe it needs to be an updated cheat sheet anyway, right?
Like 8 years old.
Right, exactly, but get better values in there. But that's good to have that. Okay, well, this one, you make adjustments to the comparable. All right, I just had to retake my Tennessee real estate exam, so what do you do? You always make adjustments to the comparable. Everything gets all this stuff.
Because what I have found that a lot of the appraisers come back to the lender and say, hey, look, provide us comps, you have 2 days to do so. So, you better be prepared to have something up your sleeve. And, when it's one of the deals where I'm nervous about, I tell the agent that you better be prepared and have some good comps up the sleeve and meet that appraiser.
Right, exactly. Here and there.
No, I just heard, I was watching that they're supposedly now with the appraisals, after the appraiser does everything, then they've got this computer program that's going to be looking at the appraisal, saying, oh, I don't like this and then I don't like
That's Fannie Mae's coming out. We're going to get some information on that as well.
So that's going to be a...
Yeah, it'll be another issue that they're going to, and the appraiser's going to have their hands tied because there's going to be an automated appraisal system almost out there that's going to be reviewing their appraisal. So I'll get you details on that. I kind of, we put it in front of we get to meet twice a year, top 50 brokers in the state, our meeting, and that's one of the things that came up is, hey, look, and so usually we have somebody from Fannie Mae there. I'm actually co-chairing the committee this year, so I wanted to say, hey, let's get somebody from Fannie Mae so they can answer some tough questions on this, and they conveniently said, oh, no one on that area is available. Yeah. But it's going into effect, so we'll keep you abreast of that and find out.
Freddie's going to use the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like direct underwriting, if you will, but it's a direct appraising almost.
I was supposed to ask the appraiser.
Oh, are you? Awesome. Very good. Licensed appraiser. Well, good. Email me. Okay, cool. You still are active doing it?
Yes.
Awesome. Email me and remind me. So I would love to do that. That's awesome. See, look at that. Get answers all the time right here. Asking, we shall receive. Cool. I know we're running a little bit late. Any last minute questions you got to know from Manuela? All right.
Yeah, why don't we go to lunch? We need to talk. We'll talk about that tonight.
By the way, the group after, tell us about the reality chicks.
So after 100K Club meetings on Tuesday nights, we kind of got a bunch of girls together and figured, we need to have some fun. So we usually go out to Applebee's. They used to have karaoke, trivia, and they stopped it. The what? The trivia, they stopped the trivia. I know.
We were winning.
I know. Nobody likes a winner. That's right. I know.
They gave us gift cards.
So anybody who wants to come, just hook up with us after the meeting, and we'll go out and have a drink or two.
Or two.
And food, of course.
Question? Someone else had a question? Something?
I'm just nosy. On your professional Facebook page, do you keep it completely I know you said you kind of program your posts to go out at certain times. Do you ever kind of cross the line and put anything, not private, but more, would you just keep it?
So proud of my daughter, she just won this, or whatever.
Right,
yeah,
do you add something about your family to keep it kind of warm and kind of fuzzy, or do you keep it strictly kind of professional?
On my business page, I kind of keep it more professional. I do post, I lost my dog 2 years ago, and people will see posts about that every now and then. They'll probably get tired of it by now, but it's just me, and I repost that all the time. I do post about animal rescue because that's my passion.
Okay.
And
so you do.
And you do that on your business page as well.
Yeah, on my business. That's what I mean. On my business page.
On your business page.
Yes.
I just didn't know how warm.
And I did post. I took my daughter on a European trip last summer, so I posted some great pictures I had there. Every now and then, but that stuff usually goes on my personal side.
Yeah.
And I've learned a lot on my personal side. I used to be very opinionated about our government.
Yeah,
that kind of bit me in the rear end a couple of times. So I learned.
We'll sell to a liberal.
Yeah.
agree with them, but we'll sell to them.
Yeah. So anyways, I kind of scaled back a little bit on that. I try to kind of really slap my hands and walk away a lot more times from the computer when
When you felt the need.
Yeah, when I felt the need. That's something I've learned, and I think in the long run it's better.
So Abraham Lincoln, you write the letter, just don't mail it.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? They found in Lincoln, they had like 3 letters, pretty excoriating these generals as they were, but then he never sent them. And it felt good for him to write it, I'm sure. All right.
I do that all the time.
I
I do that. I go in the post, I really want to say something, and I write it, and then I'm like, okay, now I feel better, and I just delete it.
There you go. Absolutely. It's that 3-day right of rescission. Right? We love to have. So, cool.
And on your personal page, just post funny stuff every now and then, because it's really about staying in front of everybody. So when you get 120 likes on a funny post, because I said I weighed 260 pounds when I went to the gym. So, it's all about, staying in front of my friends and that they see, and then, the more they see.
I told you this last time. You guys weren't here last month when Manuela posted. So, because I'm going to get a bumper sticker that says, honk if you think I'm sexy, then I'm going to go up to a stoplight and not move when it turns green. It says, great for my self-esteem, right? Because everybody's honking. Hey, man, I got it going on. I love it. Any last things before we'll get out of here before 11:30? Yes.
Because Facebook, I have a personal one, but I have not done the business, and it's still a little foggy for me, Facebook. But your business one, do you have it like your business name, or how do you?
But I named Tampa Bay Military Specialist because that's my specialty.
Right.
A lot of agents just use their name or whatever they name their company.
Right.
So I'd be more than happy to do a class one day.
Awesome.
I taught the girls the other day after.
Couple of drinks?
Before. Everybody drinks.
The after party.
Was it after lunch or before lunch?
And the cool thing is, by the way, what she just did, that's just our culture, man. That is so, the other day, what was it, probably about 3 weeks ago, I guess, somebody was looking for an updated buyer presentation, right? Joe Elmer stepped up and loaded one. It's just knock out of the park. I mean, and that's all part of our 100K group page. We do have a group page.
Yes.
All right? I'm just telling you, that's the other side benefit of becoming 100K is that you get on that group page. There is so much dynamic information going back and forth because we preach, hey, look, just because you share an idea doesn't mean you're going to lose business to that person.
Right.
All right? Because people are doing business with you. All right? And the people who do business with Manuela are not the same people who are going to do business with Joe or Betsy or anybody else anyway. So why not share each other? And everybody's just sharing information back and forth. It's really incredible, the dynamic that goes on there. All right? And the knowledge base that's flowing back and forth. So really cool. Highly encourage you to.
And if you're looking for presentations, first of all, we have one on the website at Future Home for a listing presentation. And what I did, I took that template and then I went to another great site, is slideshare.net. You go on there and you search for listing presentations. There is like hundreds of them on there. Then I look through all of them and I pick me the best stuff out and I throw it into my presentation.
Perfect.
I mean, it's just, there's just.
It's out there.
Yeah, it's out there. Just look for it.
Wasn't that bad, was it?
All right. Complete love.
That was awesome. Cool. All right, I know we ran late, and that's good. Once we had to work through our 11 o'clock crew coming in.
Tomorrow night, Tech User Group, GTAR, is on YouTube Marketing.
Oh, YouTube Marketing Tech User Group at GTAR. Don't have to be a GTAR member.
No.
Okay, what time?
5:30 to 7:30, free pizza and soft drinks.
Come on. Free pizza, soft drinks, and YouTube technology. Come on. All right, guys, have a great day. Thank our vendors. Make sure you use them. Reward them for their drink tickets. All right, have a great day.